Welcome back, my gardening friends, to cloudy Atherstone. And it's 10 to 8 on Saturday the 25th of February. And first of all, today I wanted to have a look at how my overwintering vegetables have done. The potatoes especially, because of the heavy frosts, which decimated quite a few Allotment potatoes that we try and save over the winter. Too late to get them into the polytunnel, but even in the polytunnel it was a little bit too late. Now, with a bit of luck, oops, what's happening here? Looks like we've had some of our friends have a little dig about. That's why I've put the broad beans in the polytunnel. On top of those, the mice and rats seem to struggle to get up those, but hopefully some of these potatoes that we've got will still be good, and they'll be starting chitting because they'll start growing now, and we can pot some of those on, and it'd be nice to be able to have some Charlottes to plant again. We've got pink fir apple here, but anyway, less of the chit chat. Let's have a look to see if there's anything left. If not, we've got the compost to use on the new pallet collar beds. Well, we've got the bamboo touchscreen gloves from Cooljob because it feels like -4 this morning and there's a little bit of ice about. This is the living green seed compost with some rocket potatoes in. I can't remember how many I put in, I haven't wrote it down. They were planted in June. So we'll have a look at these. I'll do all the rockets first. And like I said, even if I've got enough potatoes just for seed, that one's started to chit, but it's also gone rotten. So what I might do, I might try and slice that. I'm not going to throw anything away at the moment. Some of these are a little bit brown, not sure whether they're damaged or not, but looking at some of these nice small potatoes, they're going to be they're quite nice. Right, so what's happening here? Not quite sure, but that may have been off the main seed potato, and that's one of those that's grown, and there's another one there that's growing, so I might just put that into a container on its own to see what happens. Not going to bore you completely, we'll see what's in this one. There's quite a few to do. So even though it was only a seed compost, which doesn't contain many nutrients, that one or two rocket seed potatoes did really well in there, and there's some good viable seed as well as eating. On to the next pot. This is the living green salad and veg compost, again planted on the 4th of June. Now, what a difference that is. A lot more bigger potatoes, just two very small ones, no rotten ones, and as you can see, we've got some viable potatoes there to pop into a sack, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use the Spider Farmer grow pots. They're lasting really well. These are on their 4th use now and still as good as new, and they've been left out in all weathers. Found a few smaller potatoes I've put straight into the bottom of that bucket, so there'll be lots of little baby rocket potatoes, and even the small seeds will produce a very healthy crop. So I've put 3 seeds in there, ones with the better chits, and depending on what else I find, I might do another container full. I think I've caught those just in time to replant. So this is my homemade compost. 6 could be 6 pink fir apples. I originally had these off blinking heck, can't think now, but he kindly sent me some. If I can remember off the top of my head, then I will let you know. It was Steve's Allotment. I'm very happy with that. There's the 6 in the background that we started off with, and in return we got 41, so I can plant 6 of those good ones, and we can munch on the rest. So we move on to the homemade compost again. 4 seed potatoes, Marfonia, again planted on the 4th of the 6th in the trial we did last year. Again, I'm pleased that I've managed to have a few to save for seed. Yes, there was a lot of frosted ones in there, but to actually physically get some potatoes to plant again. So let's say those are the 4 that we planted. A nice little return there. Got some to eat, got some to plant. I'll probably just plant the 4, 2 per pot. What did we do? We put 4 in there. But it's just a matter of keeping these varieties going, because you know, it's just nice to have different varieties in case one doesn't work for us. And saving seed is key to gardening on a budget. I've planted 2 of the Marfonia in the compost that was in there. These kestrel were given to me by Gary, who used to be on these allotments, and these kestrel used to be in my permanent potato bed. Let's see what we get off these, if any. And as you can see, they're desperate to want to grow again now. Even though this has been completely frosted, the potato is still trying to find a way of reproducing. I'm not going to plant that, but you could, because you could end up growing potatoes from the actual chit just by breaking it off and hopefully taking the roots with it. So you could plant that. Oh, okay, Jason, I'll plant it in a small pot and see what happens. But as you can see there, these are now ready to be repotted, and I will oblige, and I'll put this one in a separate one as an experiment. Nature always finds a way. Not sure what's happened on this one, but I must have planted some kestrel on the 3rd of the 12th, 22. Can't remember that. Anyway, let's have a look. Haha, maybe I found a kestrel and planted it. Whoops, best pop it back in. So homemade compost, 6 seed potatoes, Charlotte, again planted on the 4th of June last year. Just enough for seed, but they're a lovely potato. I'd love to have that on my Sunday dinner tomorrow, but at least I can take them home, get them chitting, and as soon as they're ready we can get them replanted. These Picasso were originally sent to me from Alan from the Dawn Chorus plot. We had about 80% of that rotten, but I'm really pleased that I've you know, at least got some. But this is why we don't leave potatoes in the ground, because you just literally can't get rid of them if you miss those small ones. They'll need potting up today. So these are my own Sarpomera. I grew these from the seed pods, the actual seeds within those little tomato pods, which are poisonous. They were sent to me by another allotment here, YouTuber. He doesn't post anymore, but I'm hoping to be able to keep these going. As you can see, I forgot to harvest those last year, and they came again because I didn't empty them out. And luckily enough, I've got 2 pots. We'll empty the next one, but yes, I've definitely got some viable seed to replant. So these are the ones we did plant last year in the end of March. Nothing but rotted potatoes, and that's really what I was expecting out of every bucket. So happy with what we've got and what we've been able to save up to yet. Some more pink fir apple. So that container of pink fir apple, everyone had rotted, and they were sown 13th of March last year. So what I've potted up today, I've reused all my compost that was use. So this is the kestrel with the chit. So we've just broke the chit off. We'll just pop a bit of compost around that. On all the potatoes I've replanted, I've used some chicken manure pellets. So that chit is just sticking out of the top. I'll take them home to the grow room out the way. Then this is the small seed. Nature always finds a way. We can pop these up later on if they start growing. If they start growing, they'll definitely produce some tubers, hopefully. But of course, we've all got to be careful of the frosts. My last frost date is the end of May, and it caught me out terribly last year. So some nice potatoes to share with my parents there. We've planted up some of the rocket potatoes. We've got 3 rocket potatoes there to take home to put in the fridge. We've got some pink fir apple to plant up, but they're not chitting at the moment, so we'll leave them where they are. We don't want too many potatoes coming at the same time. I've planted 2 Marfonia, kept 2 back. We'll get them chitting away. The Charlottes, I'll take them home and we'll get them chitting first, even though they are a first early. Some kestrels there that have been planted, and some Picasso there, and the rest of the kestrels, because they were desperate to get out. We'll take these home and let them carry on chitting. We'll pop these into the greenhouse grow room in amongst the Spider Farmer giant vegetables grow tent. Like I said, I've used some chicken manure pellets. I used to collect manure regularly from a place that keeps horses, but since the pandemic it slipped off, and as you can see, I'm busy picking up compost that we find, etc., and pallet collars and anything else, so sometimes we do have to buy something. Crimson broad beans hardening off in the polytunnel. It won't be long before I can get those out, and if I'm very lucky we will get some early pods by the look of those crimson flowers that are just popping out. We'll have a look at some of the other overwintering vegetables, which are the carrots and the Varieties sweet candle. Leave that like that so I know where the next row is. And not forgetting the parsnips. And if you want to know how I grow my carrots and parsnips and anything my way, then don't forget to consider subscribing. These are Gladiator F1 parsnips. The cocoa coir helps to insulate, and the cardboard helps to keep some of the water off. It won't be long before I need to get them all out, but while they're still coming out fresh. Ooh. As you can see, they're just starting to grow, and if we left them in, they'd go to seed, but because they're an F1, they probably wouldn't come out the same. But again, we've got some nice parsnips there. As you can see, the cardboard's angled, so we don't let the parsnips get too damp, especially with these cold weather we're still getting here in the UK. And we can take another swede. I don't think it'll be long now before the purple sprouting starts. Like I say, if you can see there, perhaps in the middle of the screen, there's one little shoot, extra shoot there, but nothing showing at the moment. We'll take another stalk of Brussels sprouts. Still looking good, and because we took the tops out, it stopped them from blowing too much. But I have tried some of the ones that have blown, and they are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. But as you can see, taking the tops out, the top ones have started to plump out, and they'll make a lovely meal on tomorrow's Sunday roast. So not a bad little harvest. The parsnips still doing well. Yes, a little bit of canker. That doesn't take no cutting off. A few holes in the carrots, and yes, even I can grow small carrots. And there's potatoes after being given a good wash with the toilet brush on the end of the drill. Quite happy with that. And it's now nearly 9:30. Where has the time gone? Lots to do today, so I'll move on to the next thing. Thank you for taking the time to watch the videos, comment, and the thumbs up or thumbs down. And as always, please leave a comment. I'll reply to everyone's comments. And if the weather plays ball, we'll get these broad beans out in the next week or so. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.